Hello, 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 y bendición. Welcome to Pero Who Am I? A podcast about self discovery and the life of a modern day Latina with your host, Lisa Marie. Hey everyone, so I hope that this has been an incredible week for you. I've been going through it, still going through it, but you know what? I look at every day as a lesson that I'm learning, a stepping stone of where I'm moving forward to. And as long as I don't look back and get stuck in the review, I think I'll be okay. So, with that said, I'm going to start with this week's Spanish lesson of the day. And with the holidays fast approaching, and I say fast because within the blink of an eye, they will be here. Um, I wanted to go over a special tradition that is very, very popular amongst the Spanish culture when the holidays approach, and that is the making of coquito. And if there is one thing that has different versions and different ways to make it, it is definitely coquito. I have seen people make it with eggs and coconut milk and rum. I've seen people make it without eggs, but with the coconut milks and the rum. For those that don't know, coquito is a Spanish eggnog, depending if you add the egg or not, I guess. But it is a very popular Christmas drink, and you normally start seeing right before Thanksgiving. Um, your, abuelas start making it. We start making it. um, my grandmother used to make it all the time growing up, and then as an adult, I've kind of learned how to make it, and I put my own little twist to it. And then, I've noticed that it's become more and more popular, and with Facebook around, constantly seeing somebody selling coquito on Facebook on the side as a little side hustle. And hey, get your money, do what you can. So if you want to learn how to make coquito, I highly suggest that you do some research. I got with my grandmother to make my recipe or make how I make it. And then, of course, you just add your own little flair to it. So if you want to know, I would say you want to get yourself a can of sweet condensed milk, 1 can of carnation milk, 1 can of coconut milk, 1 can of cream of coconut, some vanilla extract. I add a little bit of cinnamon to mine, and of course, your rum. So you want to throw all your milks into I do, and this is how I make mines. Like I said, everybody makes theirs different. You throw all the milks into a blender and just let it blend. Let it mix very, very well. And then you add the rum to taste. And really, that's it. If you want it stronger, you add stronger rum. I add two different kinds of rum to mine. I add coconut rum and I add a spiced rum because I like spiced dark rum. So I like to have a little twist on my coquito on the way I make it. And that is literally it. It is the easiest thing that you can make. It tastes so good. To me, it is the announcement that the holidays are on the way. And it's smooth. You drink it over ice, throw a little cinnamon stick in it, and that's it. Así de fácil. So simple. Hey, hey, hey. So I just wanted to start off by letting you guys know that Idea to Launch Academy is going to be launching its intensive course with the one and only Carla Wilmaris. If you've been thinking about starting a podcast and you're just not sure how to get started, I highly, highly suggest that you go on over to Idea to Launch Academy and get signed up for her intensive course. Carla will walk you step by step on everything you need from the equipment all the way down to the outlines. She guides you every step of the way. And with her intensive course, you meet with her on a weekly basis, and she's literally right there to guide you through the entire process. So go to Idea to Launch Academy. I will provide a link in the show description so that you can just click on it, get signed up, and be on your way. So, on this week's Dear Diary, I really just want to get on here and kind of really treat you guys like if you're my diary this week. Just my diary entry, what I would type in or what I would write in my journal. If I had my journal, I can't find it, and it's kind of frustrating. But nonetheless, that's what this week's Dear Diary is. I would title it Fiddle What's Going On. And basically, I've got so much going on, and I know that a very dear friend of mine's asked me, and I say dear friend, a fellow podcaster, she asked me on one of her lives recently, and she said, Lisa, what's going on? I noticed that you haven't really been on lately. And it's true. I haven't been on social media as much as I have been in the past. I feel that lately my anxiety and my depression have been taking a toll on me. And, it's a combination of a lot of things. And I wish that, I could say there's a simple answer, a simple solution, or, that I know what's going on or I've got it all figured out in my head. And honestly and truthfully, without getting super emotional, I don't. I really honestly don't. Um, I've got two of my kids e learning, one physically in school. And I say my kids, it's my brother and my son, and then my high schooler is physically in school. And the e learning has been hard. It's been really, really hard. It's been a struggle. It's been a test of patience to all my fellow e learning parents. I'm right there with you. I get it. I wish that this was easier. I give mad props to our teachers, like 100%. We'll always give them, their credit where it's due because they've got the patience of a saint. And I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you teachers have been doing this e-learning, but I can't do it anymore. So I have to go back. My working from home is coming to an end, unfortunately, because Florida is in phase 3 of its pandemic, whatever this shit. That's what it is. Whatever this shit is going on. Florida's in phase 3, so we are officially basically we're open to the world. Um, so our jobs are starting to pull us back into the office, and my job has given me basically a deadline of when I need to report back into the office. So I am putting one of my e-learners back into brick and mortar because his it's my little brother. He's too young to stay home and e-learn by himself. And he needs an adult with him. And and it's not so much that it's hard because I mean, well, yeah, it is hard, but it's he needs to be able to ask questions. He needs to be able to have somebody to help him, when he gets distracted or when he gets lost in what he's supposed to be doing. He needs somebody that's going to be able to point him in the right direction or, simple questions. He was Lisa, how do I do this? Or how do I type this? Or can you read this to make sure that it makes sense to me? And those little things, like he can't do that on his own. So he's going to be going back into brick and mortar, and my youngest son is going to stay home e-learning for the time being because the e-learning has been working really well for him. He says it's hard, but his grades are fairly decent. I expect better of him, but that's just me. I'm that mom. A's and B's only. You don't bring home C's. They're not acceptable. But I also understand that some kids, some classes are a little bit harder than others. And as long as I see that he's putting in the effort and he's doing what he's supposed to be, I, you know, I'm not gonna nag him. I'm not gonna be on him. Now, if he was, a bum that sat around and wasn't doing shit, then absolutely, I would be on his ass. But he knows my expectations and he's working on it. And that's all I ask of him. I tell him all the time, as long as I see you're putting in the effort and I see that you're trying your best and that at the end of the day, you can say that you did your best, that's all that we can do, and that goes in life as well, that as long as we know we're putting our best foot forward and that we're putting in the effort that we truly can be putting in, then there's nothing else that we can do, you know? And I think that's been my issue lately is that I know I'm not putting my best foot forward. I know that I'm not trying my best. And that's, it's been my life the last couple weeks. And so I need to get better at it. That's where I've been. This is, that's where I for my pal that asked. This is why I haven't been on social media as much because I needed to take a time out. I need to take a time out and kind of refocus myself and get this anxiety back under control. Get this depression that I don't know where it's coming from. I've got so much good going for me right now. Like why I'm depressed, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Um, I feel that I'm at the best part of my life right now. I'm planning a wedding. I'm getting married. I'm gonna marry the man that I consider my best friend. I consider him, my right hand person. That's not something that many people have the opportunity of doing right now. Um, I'm buying a house. I have a house that's being built. Not that, and the craziest part is I'm having a house built in the middle of a pandemic when so many people have lost their jobs. And it's an incredible blessing. And I thank the Lord every single day for this blessing because there are people that don't have jobs, there are people that don't have homes. And I've been able to maintain both. I've been able to maintain my job. I've stayed during this entire pandemic. I've stayed employed and I'm having a house built. So, I don't know where this depression's coming from. I don't know why. I know that it's there. I have signed up for therapy because I think that's super important. I have a doctor's appointment to kind of get myself back on my meds. Um, I'm not pro medication, but I am pro when you need to be on your medication, you definitely should be taking it. So, I'm going to go back that route. It worked for me for a little while. And then when I felt that I was able to control my emotions and everything, I kind of weaned myself off my medications. And my doctor knows, I'm not big on it. So he's all for it. And I'm grateful for that as well. With the wedding planning, being that we're having a house being built, it's kind of put us very restricted as to how we can have this celebration of our union. And that's kind of a damper because as a little girl or nah, um thank you Disney for putting that princess vibes in my head, but I've always had this image of what my wedding was supposed to be like, and my first attempt at a wedding did not end so well and ended up actually separating 3 or 4 months before we were supposed to get married. So from early on, this wedding planning process has been an I'm not going to say a nightmare, but it's had me very anxious because a part of me is like, are we going to get married? Like, is this going to happen? But then the other part of me is like, Lisa Marie, you cannot do this. You cannot bring that negativity. You cannot, what happened in the past happened in the past, and there's a reason for everything. Um, so I can't use that as, as my clutch. So with this wedding planning, it's going forward. We were going to do a little mini ceremony for New Year's Eve and then something bigger down the road. But we've instead decided we're just going to do it. We're, to hell with everything right now at this point in time. We're getting married. We're going to do the celebration that we both want. Maybe not as grand and not as, elaborate as we, would have wanted, but it'll be a nice ceremony. It'll be a nice reception. We get to celebrate our union, and then we are postponing our honeymoon for a year because our house should be completed and built by hopefully February or March. And I don't want to take like a big honeymoon trip that close to moving into a new house. There's so much that goes with a new home that is unexpected at times. So we decided we're just going to postpone our honeymoon for a year, and we will celebrate January 2022 with a huge honeymoon that will make up the difference of having a smaller wedding. And I'm okay with that. That makes me happy. That makes us happy. That's something that we both have discussed. We would much, much rather spend the money on a huge honeymoon than to spend it on a huge wedding that's only going to last a day. And that's something that I think some people miss sight of, is that you have the 1 day celebration, but you have the memories for a lifetime. Absolutely. But are you going to remember that you spent $20,000 on a wedding for 1 day? Or are you going to remember that $10,000 honeymoon that you spent a week and a half on vacation with just you and your new husband? So we're okay with that. We want the big honeymoon, and so we're postponing it. Then there's also work, you know. So my job is calling us back in. I'm okay with that. I signed up to work in the office. I've loved working from home. It has been a blessing. I have been able to spend time with my fiance and with my kids. We've been home. We spent most of our days home. We learned to have game nights. We did puzzles together. Um, my fiance and I were working side by side next to each other. We were able to bounce off ideas off of each other, where most people, and I'm not going to say most, I'm going to say a lot of relationships don't necessarily get through a quarantine period, or where you're stuck with that person all day long. A lot of relationships thrive off of the space of your significant other going off to work and you having your separate time away from each other. And then you come home for dinner and that's your time with your spouse. Well, he and I, we thrived off of being around each other. Like, I enjoy his company. I enjoy being around him. I enjoy being with my children. Granted, I need a break every once in a while, but it's still, at the end of the day, we like being together, like being around each other. So I know that one of the things that's been going on with me, as far as my anxiety and my depression goes, is that I am not where I want to be in life career wise. And that's hard. It's a huge hurdle that I can't get over at this moment in time. And so it makes it hard because I know it's something that I can get over and I know it's something that I will eventually get over. But to have it, that weight on my shoulder right this moment, makes it really, really hard. I love my job. I love what I do, but I'm not happy at work anymore. I want to finish school, but with buying a house and things of that nature, it's not on the table right now. It will be in the next, give me 6 months. In 6 months, that's my kind of like my deadline for myself, is to go back to school to finish school. So I'm telling you now, I'm putting it out there. Man, what's the big word that we've been hearing a lot lately? I'm manifesting that I'm going to go back and finish school so that I can achieve the career, or the career that I want, one that I can look forward to every single day. And, I really hope that that's something you guys can, I'm going to say that's something that I hope you guys check me on. Every couple months ask me, "Hey, Lisa, how's school going? Or how's the school process going?" Because like I said, 6 months is my deadline. I'm going to be enrolled in school in 6 months. And I give myself 6 months because I need to get over this house buying. I need to be moved into the house. I need to have the wedding over and done with. And by then, all the kids should be in brick and mortar. So there'll be no more e learning. It'll just be me learning online. Well, whatever school decides, that's where I will be. But other than that, that's where I've been. My anxiety has been through the roof. My depression is, I feel, taking a toll on me. And I really felt that I needed to put this episode out because I needed to be very transparent with you guys and let you know exactly where I'm at, what's happening, why I haven't been on social media as much as I used to be. And, I miss being on social media. I miss seeing the interaction. That's one thing I will say with everything, everybody getting back to some sort of normalcy. There aren't as many interactions happening on social medias as there used to be. Like, I used to get on and there would be lives like left and right, and you're like, damn, whose live do I watch? Like, whose live do I join in on? And do I comment on this one or do I watch this one? And it just got to be, it was fun. Like, there was constant, you would get lost in social media for hours at a time. And that got me in trouble. But uh it is what it is. And so my thing, when I feel myself going through this type of anxiety, this type of depression, I've learned that one of the things I need to do is I need to step away from social media. I need to kind of put the phone down. So one of the things I told myself is that I'm going to get myself a planner, because I noticed that if my phone is in my hand, that's it. I'm done for. I'm turning down a little rabbit hole, and it's becoming a huge rabbit hole because I go on Instagram, and then I go on Facebook, and then I go on TikTok, and before you know it, I'm on Instagram again, and 6 hours have passed, and I've accomplished absolutely nothing. So I want to get a planner so that I can put everything down. I can write down my to-do list. I can write down my appointments and check it off that way. I'm more of a person that if I write things down, it's easier for me to accomplish it. And by writing it down, I don't need to look at my phone to see what's on my calendar or to see what's on my to-do list. Therefore, I don't need to see the Instagram notifications or the Facebook notifications. So, if you notice that I'm kind of far away sometimes, I'm always within reach. You are close to me, you have my phone number. Not send me a message on Instagram, check in on me. I appreciate you guys doing that. For those that have done it, I appreciate those that reach out to me and say, hey, it's Monday or it's Tuesday. You haven't posted an episode. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You don't understand how much it means to me to know that you value my show so much. That you value that connection, that you noticed I haven't put out an episode. I promise to be more consistent. I'm gonna be making some changes on my show, and I've said this a couple times now. I'm looking to get some feedback. I'm looking to collaborate with some more guests. My guest last week's episode with my aunt was phenomenal, and that episode, I just you don't it just I love my aunt so much, and being able to have her as a guest was incredible. I've had some pretty awesome guests so far, and I have more guests lined up. And I mean, that's where I'm at. I'm trying to work. I'm kind of all over the place, and I apologize for that. So, just to kind of wrap it up and summarize, give you a quick little summary on where I am heading in the next couple months. Aside from me buying this house and me planning this wedding, I am on a journey of losing weight again. And so, if you have any tips, any ideas, any exercises that you recommend, any keto friendly foods that you recommend. I'm not going keto, but my fiance is a diabetic, and so we've noticed that the keto works for him best. So I try to be as equal as possible with him when it comes to meals. So if he's not eating rice, I try not to eat rice either. I know that there's a lot of carbs that he has to cut out because of his diabetes, so I've been trying to do the same. And hopefully, I'll lose the weight that I'm looking to lose. I have a goal weight loss of 50 pounds. And if I can accomplish that, I know that I'll be happy with myself. But I've also said that if I can lose 50 pounds, I am going to treat myself. That's right. I'm going to treat myself to a full spa day and my boudoir photo shoot that I have been wanting to do. And that's why I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm gonna do it. That's putting it out there. So that's all I have for you guys this week. For my Pero Seriously segment, this is where I kind of get some shit off my chest. And one of the things that I want to get off my chest that I have experienced in the last week or so is coworkers that are quick to throw you under the bus. I don't expect us to be the best of friends. I don't expect, my coworkers to be involved in my daily life. But shit, we work together. Like, why would you throw someone under the bus? And I'm not saying they threw me under the bus. They threw someone else in the office under the bus, and I don't agree with that. I thought that shit was fairly shitty. I think we should always have each other's back because there's gonna be a time that you may need a favor or you may need someone to cover for you. And shit, if you're walking around throwing people under the bus, I assure you, you burn bridges. Because ain't no way in hell I'm going to be your backup person or I'm going to cover for you if you threw me under the bus in the past. It's not happening. So just, I'm not asking, like I said, I'm not telling you guys to be best friends. I'm not telling you to go out for drinks after work or any of that shit. Like, they don't need to be involved in your drama. But I grew up with the saying, snitches get stitches. And that's what happens. You start snitching at people, you're going to get burned, you're going to end up with stitches. Así es. All right, so this week's Palabras de la Semana is going to be whatever you decide to do in life, make sure it makes you happy. Well, mi gente, that's all for this week. If you liked what you heard on this week's episode, please be sure to take a moment to rate and leave a review on Apple iTunes. And don't forget, while you're there, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you'll be notified when a new episode drops.